Night 2 of WrestleMania is officially in the books, and WrestleMania in general is also in the books, and honestly, on the whole, this entire weekend was interesting, to say the very least. It really was. Of course, I'm gonna bring you your Night 2 review. This is, of course, your Night 2 review. I'm, of course, your host, Tyler the Trademark, and look, I thought Night 1, on the whole, Night 1 of WrestleMania was better in quality, in my opinion, than Night 2. Let's just be completely honest about that. Now, that doesn't mean Night 2 was a bad show by any stretch of the imagination. I'm not saying that at all. I thought Night 2, for what it was pretty good. Night 2 overall was okay. But Night 1, to me, and I don't know if I'm the only one that thinks this or not, Night 1 just kind of felt more Mania-esque. With the ladder match, with the Boneyard match, and of course the, what else? Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins. I thought those three matches basically made that show feel like Mania. Like WrestleMania. To me, anyway. I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one that thinks that. Now, Edge and Randy Orton felt like a Mania match. It really did. The Firefly Funhouse match that we saw with John Cena and Bray Wyatt, that felt like a Mania. I don't even know if you want to call it a match, to say the least. I don't know if you want to call it a match. It was more of a horror flick, to say the least. There wasn't really any fighting that was going on. It wasn't the Boneyard match by any stretch of the imagination. Wasn't what I thought it was going to be, but overall I was still pretty entertained coming out of it. Those are the only two, maybe McIntyre and Lesnar. Those are three matches that kind of felt Mania-esque as well. But I don't know, Night 1 and Crawley felt a lot smoother, felt a lot faster. Tonight just felt like, for the most part, it was dragging. And it's more so for the fact that Edge and Randy Orton, while I did enjoy the match, went on entirely too long. It went on longer than it should have been, and commentary really didn't help either. Commentary did not help that match either. So, we'll get over all that. If you haven't already, go check out episode 36 of today's podcast, of the Trademark Show. Go over what was little news to go by this week. And of course, also go over your Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and AEW Dynamite ratings as well. And I'm going to reiterate what I said on that show. It's going to be it's going to be a very interesting coming week, to say the least. Now, we all know Raw and NXT are in the can, in regards to show. But SmackDown, we don't know. Who knows if there is going to be a SmackDown. Like I said, NXT could very well be the last show for WWE for a while. That's weird to say. That really is weird to say. But the fallout once we get hopefully the fallout once we get live crowds back for this Mania, it will be through the roof. And I think it will. I have a feeling it will. But, and I'm going to give my overall consensus of both Nights 1 and Night 2 after I wrap up, this review. Because I got a lot to say in regards to what we saw both nights. But, without further ado, let's get started. But night 2 of WrestleMania. Now on the pre-show, we had Natalya versus Liv Morgan. And this match was... I didn't really care for this match at all. I really didn't. These heatless matches, I could have done without them on the card. If anything, you could have just had Otis and Dolph Ziggler on the fucking pre-show, and basically that, I would have been alright with that. I would have been alright with that. Liv, of course, beat Natalya. She wore her up after her and Natalya exchanged roll-up pin combinations towards the end of the match. I didn't really care for this match at all. It felt weird. It felt like a Raw match. It felt like a typical Raw Women's Division match. So, it didn't have any place on the card, in my honest opinion. And Stephanie McMahon, we saw her again kick off the show, virtually saying the same thing that she said yesterday. We're here to entertain you during this difficult time, yada, yada, yada. You go back to my Night 1 review. Virtually, it was the same thing. And we got basically the same intro package from last night as well in regards to introducing us to WrestleMania. And we kicked off the show once again with Rob Gronkowski. He then takes us into the first match of the night, which was the NXT Women's Championship match. Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley for the NXT title. Now, I will be honest. You can call me crazy. You can call me whatever. I thought this was the best Charlotte Flair WrestleMania match since WrestleMania 34. When she had that match with Asuka. Now, unfortunately, for Asuka, and unfortunately here for Rhea Ripley, they tapped out to the figure 8. Hey, and I gotta be honest with you guys. Well, I enjoyed the match for what it was. And I enjoyed the match. I thought the match was pretty good. It was a hot opener to start off the show, and we'll just leave it at that. I am not a fan of the finish at all. One, I don't know if I'm the only one that noticed this or not, but wasn't Rhea Ripley trying to fight out of the figure 8? Because she wasn't tapping out, in my honest opinion. Referee probably thought, okay, she's tapping out, gotta ring the bell, Charlotte Flair's your new NXT Women's Champion. And I kinda hope they address this Wednesday night on NXT as well. Now I know NXT's already taped, but I hope they address this as well, because this is kind of important. My honest opinion, Rhea Ripley was fighting out of the figure 8, or at least trying to fight out of the figure 8. She was punching Charlotte's legs. Apparently that constitutes a submission. So, who knows? Charlotte Flair is your new NXT Women's Champion. She is a 2-time NXT Women's Champion now. And what the hell does this do? What the hell does this do for NXT? Besides nothing. Is it to combat AEW in the ratings? Because if it is, it's not going to work. It's not going to work at all, because Charlotte Flair has proven that she is not a draw when it comes to NXT. NXT really isn't a draw, period. People are more enthralled with AEW right now. And I don't really see that honeymoon phase ending anytime soon, especially, before all this shit was going on. AEW was actually putting out quality television every single week. They were actually picking up some steam, gaining some momentum. And with all this shit going on, now the future for AEW is kind of bleak also. Now, they did tape multiple TV tapings that would last for a while, at least for a month. So that's a good thing for them. But if you want to know the future of AEW, or go to episode 36 of the Trademark Show. I cover the bases on that. So that's all I'm gonna say. But I don't think this is to combat AEW in the ratings. This very well could be to gain exposure for somebody like a Bianca Belair. Well, I don't even know about Bianca Belair because it looks like she got called up to the main roster tonight. By the looks of things. Either that, or they were that short-handed on talent, and that they kind of needed to use Bianca Belair. Or, I don't know. Or, guess we'll see what happens tomorrow night. But I'm not a fan of this decision at all. What does Charlotte Flair have to gain by being the NXT champion? Besides nothing. She's already an established name. She's already proven she doesn't need NXT. NXT really doesn't need her. Why is she there? Oh. And I don't know, man. I can see the argument of this being a ratings ploy, and I actually did mention that, I think, on my prediction show. It's either that, or they're trying to build a new star for somebody. I have no idea. I kind of doubt it. Because whoever wins that ladder match looks like they might lose to Charlotte Flair now. Like, say if Dakota Kai wins Wednesday's ladder match, she's probably going to take the fall to Charlotte. She is probably going to take the fall to Charlotte. I don't like that at all. NXT is to build the stars of tomorrow. Charlotte Flair is not a star of tomorrow. I mean, you can say the same thing about Finn Balor, too. But the original intent of NXT was to build the stars of tomorrow. And Charlotte Flair was not that. I'm sorry. Charlotte Flair is not that. She's already a proven name. Amen. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't like it. I did not like this at all. I did not like it at all. So, Aleister Black versus Bobby Lashley. Of course, Lashley coming into the ring by Lana. And this wasn't really a bad match by any stretch of the imagination. Aleister Black did great here. Or Lashley did pretty well for himself as well. But this felt like a Raw match. This is another match that felt like a Raw match than anything else. It felt like a run-of-the-mill match that you see on the USA Network. I mean, or Fox. If you want to bring the match between Otis and Dolph Ziggler into the mix as well, because I have the same feeling with that. I have the same feeling with that as well. Now, granted, the only WrestleMania-esque thing about Otis and Dolph Ziggler was the ending, and we'll get to that. But I actually liked the way this ended. And Bobby Lashley trying to go for the Dominator, trying to put away Aleister Black. Lana, for some fucking reason, is yelling at Lashley on top of the apron. Spear him. So, Bobby Lashley obliges. Big mistake. Big fucking mistake there. As Lashley was trying to go for the spear, Aleister Black catches a running Bobby Lashley, a charging Bobby Lashley in mid-stride with a Black Mass. I thought that was brilliant. I thought that was well done. hell of an ending, and Aleister Black wins. Aleister Black gets his first WrestleMania win. And not bad. Not bad at all. Now, I'm hoping, because Lana technically fucked over Bobby Lashley on the biggest stage of them all, by name. But this was Bobby Lashley's moment. This was Bobby Lashley's moment to put away Aleister Black, get the win, get a Mania win. Lana took that away from him. So, I'm hoping this is the beginning of the end for this quote-unquote marriage between Lashley and Lana. This is a storyline that is dead. Rusev isn't even fucking around anymore. And Liv Morgan is off somewhere else. So, doesn't really make sense to have these two be married in storyline when Rusev obviously just does not give a fuck anymore. And nor should he. Nor should Rusev. But I'm hoping this is the beginning of the end. If anything, this is the last thing that needs to die out of that entire fucking debacle of a storyline in 2019. So, hopefully, that's what we see. Otis vs. Dolph Ziggler was right after Lashley and Black. Like I said, much like Black and Lashley, this felt like a run-of-the-mill TV match. The match itself, anyway. Hey, but not only does Otis pick up the win here, after Mandy Rose gives Dolph Ziggler a low blow, and I'm pretty sure Dolph Ziggler didn't want that to happen to him. He wanted Mandy Rose to touch him, to give him a low blow in a different meaning. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But Sonya Deville got involved in this match. Of course, Ziggler was coming to the ring by Sonya. She got involved in this match when Otis was trying to close things out. Dolph hit the low blow when the referee was distracted with Deville. Mandy Rose comes out. Slaps the soul out of Sonya Deville. And gives Dolph Ziggler, like I mentioned, the low blow. Otis hits the caterpillar. Then an elbow. Does the caterpillar. Hits the elbow. That was all she wrote for Dolph Ziggler. Otis not only picks up the win, he also finally picks up his peach and gets the goal in Mandy Rose. I loved it. You know, that is the one thing that absolutely fucking sucks out of this whole entire ordeal of having WrestleMania in an empty performance center instead of Raymond James Stadium. We could have had that same moment, only with 80,000 fans in attendance, just cheering the shit out of Otis and Mandy when Mandy Rose gave Otis that big kiss. Does that suck. That absolutely fucking, that absolutely blows, man. I'm sorry, but, oh, man. It does get the goal, though, so, I love a happy ending, so, and this feud, obviously, is going to continue. It's probably going to end up in a mixed tag match at some point down the road, if and when, we get live audiences back. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens. This is the match I really want to talk about. Randy Orton versus Edge. The last man standing match. Of course, Edge's first match in 9 years. This was arguably one of the best feuds and build-ups that we've probably seen in a while in regards to, personal vendetta and trying to take somebody out, so on and so forth. It was one of the best builds in quite a while. This match was pretty fucking pulverizing on social media. Some people liked it, but from what I seen, a lot of people didn't. A lot of people thought this match sucked. I am probably going to be in the minority here and say that I thought this match was fine. I thought this match lived up to what it was supposed to be. Because let's face facts here. It was supposed to be a brawl between Randy Orton and Edge. I don't know what people were expecting. You know what it is? You know what it was? And when I seen the reactions, I'm thinking to myself, why are people so pissed off? But why do people want a cinematic feel to this? Then it clicked. Boneyard match between Undertaker and AJ Styles. It was last night to close out WrestleMania Night 1. I didn't think this needed a cinematic feel, a movie feel to it. I really didn't think it really didn't need that enhancement, in my opinion. And it really didn't. Now, granted, I do agree with people on this. Our commentary was fucking abysmal throughout most of this match. That wasn't Tom Phillips and Byron Saxton's best performance. I'm sorry. They did not do that match any favor. They didn't do that match any favors. They didn't help that match whatsoever. But, and also, did it drag on a little longer than it should have? Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. But it still doesn't take away the fact that it told a story. It told a hell of a story. An Edge, when before and after he gave Randy Orton that Concerto. Edge just basically crying because he didn't want to do it. He didn't want to crush Randy Orton's skull with two steel chairs. In between two steel chairs, I should say. He didn't want to do it. And he knew he had to do it anyway because it's what Randy deserves. It's what Randy did to Edge. It's what Randy gets for RKOing his wife, mentioning his kids. He had to do it. Plain and simple. And he did it. Edge beats Randy Orton. Obviously, Randy Orton couldn't answer the 10 count because he was basically fucking dead. Or at least unconscious at that point. And then again, that's kind of a thing. That's kind of another thing I have a problem with. And I just thought of this too. Randy Orton moving around, moving his arms and shit after that Concerto. I wasn't really too crazy about that. I actually thought it would have been a lot better if Randy Orton sold it fucking dead. If Randy Orton was fucking laying there, like, unconscious. Like, Edge actually fucking killed him. I would have liked that a lot better, too. Another thing I would have liked better, too, and I don't know if anybody else is going to mention this or not, but I feel like they could have did what they did. They could have wore street clothes. They could have wore, worked jeans, t-shirts, taped up those fists, or at least Edge, maybe Randy Orton as well, taped up those fists, and just go to town on one another. I feel like that was a missed opportunity as well. You could have meshed two of those stipulations together in a street fight and a last man standing match. That's another thing I feel like they missed on. But still, other than those points I mentioned of why people probably hated this match, I didn't really see a problem with it other than the points I just mentioned. It being a little too long, commentary absolutely sucking by virtually giving us golf commentary instead of actual commentary, and basically wrestling in their regular gear instead of street clothes. So, yeah, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Edge gets the victory here on Randy Orton, which he should have. Right, Reynolds. We're moving on. We see Mojo Rawley. I'm going to breeze past this because I could give two shits less about it. Mojo Rawley, of course, is chased out by a few fucking jobbers from the back. Gronk then dives on top of everybody. He pins Mojo Rawley. He's your new 24/7 champion. Money well spent, WWE. Money well spent. You signed Gronk to put a big money deal, and you give him the 24/7 championship. So, nice job. Nice job. Idiots. And honestly, who gives a fuck about the 24/7 championship at this point? The only person that keeps this thing even fucking remotely relevant is R-Truth. That's about it. Right? Other than that, 24/7 title could fuck off, for all I care. Austin Theory and Angel Garza versus the Street Profits for the Raw Tag Team titles. Didn't really pay attention to much of this match. I didn't think it was a bad match for what it was, but about 70 to 80% of this match we already saw on Monday night. We technically already saw this match on Raw, so why should we give a shit? Street Profits retain here after Montez Ford hit, I think, Theory with the, what the hell do they call it? From the Heavens? Is that what Montez Ford calls his frog splash, or is that what commentary's calling it? Because, I don't know. I'm thinking that's what Montez Ford's calling it, but I have no idea. Hits from the heavens, and gets the win. Street Profits retain. And Theory and Garza then jump the Street Profits, with, of course, Zelina Vega directing traffic. Only for, and this actually surprised the hell out of me, Bianca Belair, the husband of Montez Ford. She comes out, makes the save, and hits Zelina Vega with the Kiss of Death, the KOD. I was surprised to see Bianca here. I really was. I thought, okay, cool. That's a nice surprise. Now, this leads many questions, of course. Is Bianca Belair officially on the main roster? Or was Bianca Belair only there to, not only make the save for Montez Ford, but is this a short-term thing, given that WWE is short-handed on talent right now? I don't know. Like I said, I guess we'll find out tomorrow night on Raw if Bianca Belair is there or not. I would probably imagine she is, but who knows? Guess we'll see what happens. We then see Titus O'Neil. He basically says, well, since Gronk's now the 24/7 champion, we need a new host for WrestleMania. So, how about if I step in as the host for the rest of this show? So, that's what happened there. Even though WrestleMania doesn't really need a host, but that's just me. We had the Fatal 5-Way Elimination match. Now, I'm going to go in order by elimination here, as I did with my notes. Tamina was the first woman eliminated from this match after Naomi, Lacey, Sasha, and Bayley all basically piled on her after Naomi hit the split-legged moonsault. She was the first one to make the cover. There rest of the three followed suit, and Tamina was gone. That's how they eliminated Tamina, which I'm kind of alright with. Kind of made Tamina look pretty strong here, so I guess that's fine. Naomi later on gets eliminated after tapping out to the bank statement from Sasha Banks, so she is gone. Brings us down to three: Sasha, Lacey, and Bayley. Sasha Banks then gets eliminated after she gets hit with the woman's right by Lacey Evans. And they teased a little bit of dissension here between Sasha and Bayley. So that's going to be interesting to see what happens with those two. Maybe a possible feud for the belt between Sasha and Bayley. I don't know. Who knows? Match then comes down to Bayley and Lacey. Sasha Banks, throughout the duration of the rest of the match until the finish, was basically laying there like Lacey Evans fucking killed her with a shotgun. And I thought that was fucking hilarious. Sasha Banks comes to her senses, of course, hits a backstabber on Lacey Evans. Bayley then nails Lacey with whatever the fuck she calls her finish over. She plants Lacey on her face. I don't know. I don't know what the fuck she calls that. Like I said, I don't know what the fuck she calls that finish. But, story here, Bayley retains the SmackDown Women's title, and the dissension kind of continued. Of course, Sasha Banks that put the title on Bayley's waist. Bayley screaming at nobody. I don't know why she was screaming. There was nobody there. I thought that was weird. But you see Sasha. Basically a silhouette of Sasha just standing there watching Bayley. Not even celebrating with Bayley. So that is something to look. That is something to. That is something I'm interested in, to say the least. Yet again, we saw this last night, and we saw it again tonight. Right? The promo package advertising next year's WrestleMania at SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles. Now, it's interesting to point out, too, that the construction workers that are building SoFi Stadium are kind of hesitant about, continuing to build the stadium because of what's been going on with, the current situation, of course, with the coronavirus and all that shit. So, they're kind of hesitant right now. Which, that is something to keep an eye on in terms of next year's WrestleMania, because that could very well affect next year's Mania. And the location for that, because they are dead set on having that at SoFi Stadium. Now, I don't know if they'll have a backup plan. Who knows? Maybe the stadium will be done in time. Who knows? But this goes to show you that this pandemic is affecting everything. And I mean everything. Including construction for a stadium that is nearly complete. So, there you go. We got the Firefly Funhouse match. John Cena versus Bray Wyatt. Now, this technically wasn't really a match, in my honest opinion. This was nothing like the Boneyard match we saw last night between Undertaker and AJ Styles. And you know what? I don't really have a problem with it. I really don't have a problem with that. It really should have been its own separate thing. And it was. And it exactly was. I thought this was pretty fucking... I thought this was great. I thought this was fucking great. Right. I personally loved the throwbacks and references. As, from Cena's first match with Kurt Angle as when he was the prototype. John Cena basically name-dropping Husky Harris. etc., etc. Bray Wyatt, of course, reaching down the bag of old fucking gimmicks and basically redawning the Eater of Rules, at least for one night. Right? And you also had throwbacks to Saturday night's main event with Hogan and I don't know who John Cena was portraying. Somebody fill me in on that. Any old school wrestling fan, fill me in on that, because I have no idea who Cena was portraying. I know Bray Wyatt was portraying Hogan, though. I know Wyatt was portraying Hogan. And the one fucking thing that popped me, the one thing that popped the shit out of me, was when he had on commentary. You had Morrissey the Buzzard, for the Bray Wyatt versus the Saturday Night's main event. You had Morrissey the Buzzard, and you had the Vince McMahon puppet. What the hell do they call it? Mr. McBossman? I thought this was fucking great. Mr. McBossman, and this popped me. When, what was it, Bray Wyatt? No, this was during the NWO reference. With Eric Bischoff introducing Goldberg as the new member of the NWO, I believe, on Nitro. And, you fucking, whoever voiced the fucking Vince McMahon puppet, you hear this? And this was something I wasn't expecting. You hear Mr. McMahon, you hear Mr. McBossman say this. This is such good shit. I fucking died, man. I had to laugh at that. Because I don't know who the hell approved that. Vince obviously had to approve that. Number one. If not, I'd be fucking shocked. Because the origin from that, not only was it from on the internet, like on Twitter and shit, but the origin of that was when Jon Moxley went on Talk Is Jericho and basically uttered those same words to Jericho on his podcast last May. So, I just thought that was fucking, it was something I wasn't expecting. It was a line I wasn't expecting to fucking see or hear. So, the puppets were great. I thought the puppets were great. Of course, this wasn't the only time we saw Mr. McBossman. Mr. McBossman was basically confronting John Cena before this whole shebang even began, when Cena entered through the door Bray Wyatt went through, and Mr. McBossman said, "You think you have ruthless aggression, kid?" And so on and so forth, basically saying, you gotta have ruthless aggression, with a lot of references. A lot of fucking references. Of course, he also had Doctor of Thugonomics, and everything in between. And I liked it. I honestly liked this match. If you want to call it a match. I thought this was an outstanding job by everybody. By Riot, by Cena, production team, whoever was behind this creatively, excellent fucking job. Now, technically, Bray Wyatt got his revenge on John Cena. The Fiend got his revenge on John Cena and picked up the win over John Cena. Basically avenging that loss at WrestleMania 30 6 years ago. If we want to get technical on that in there. Who knows what will happen though? Because like this was, like I said, this wasn't a legit match, but it was still fun to watch. It really was. Main event in the evening, and this was something I wasn't crazy for, but this was expected. I just didn't think it was going to be this quick, to say the least, and I was wrong. I did not think for a minute that they would give Drew McIntyre the WWE Championship in an empty Performance Center, or because I thought they would, save that moment for when we get live audiences back. That way, Drew McIntyre could, celebrate with the audience, and yeah, so I was surprised here. I really was surprised, but you know what? End of the day, I'm fucking happy that Drew McIntyre won the WWE Championship. I am ecstatic that he has finally captured the WWE title. It's what everybody's wanted. It's what everybody has been wanting for at least a couple years now, and he finally gets it. He's finally on top of the mountain. The match itself was nothing to write home about. This was basically a finisher frenzy, like Braun Strowman versus Goldberg was last night. And I don't get that. I don't get that at all, because unlike Goldberg, who can barely go anymore, Brock Lesnar proved that he could still do it. I mean, Lesnar was in the Royal Rumble match for half the match, just about, until he got eliminated by Drew McIntyre. Lesnar was in there for half the Royal Rumble match. And you only give this match 4 or 5 minutes? Probably less than that? I don't know, man. This could have at least went 7, 8, at the most 10 minutes. You could have put out a 10-minute match, still would have been pretty good. And you didn't have to really waste anybody's finishers here, or because, let's face facts, nobody has kicked out of the Claymore. Nobody has kicked out of the Claymore kick. And on the first Claymore kick, Lesnar kicked out. Lesnar kicked out at 2, and that's something I'm not crazy about. Of course, then you had Brock Lesnar hit the first of 3 or 4 F5s, so he was going for a 4th, and McIntyre countered, but he was going for he went for the F5, nailed the F5, McIntyre kicks out at 1. Goes for another F5, McIntyre kicks out at 2. Hits a 3rd F5. McIntyre again kicks out at 2. Lesnar goes for the 4th F5. McIntyre counters, hits a Claymore. Then McIntyre hits another Claymore. Then McIntyre hits another Claymore, and he wins the WWE title. I don't like that at all. I do not like that at all. Now, the moment itself was good. The moment itself was great. I feel fucking absolutely horrible for Drew McIntyre because he finally reached the summit. This guy finally fucking reached the top of the mountain, and he wins the title in front of nobody. I feel fucking horrible for that man. I really do. But this match was nothing. This match was nothing to write home about. This match, honestly, was a fucking disappointment. In terms of main event, fuck, if this was the match that they had planned, why didn't you just have John Cena and Bray Wyatt main event? Like you did last night with the Boneyard match. I don't know. I just don't get it. I don't get that at all. But that's how we ended Night 2 of WrestleMania. I said I thought night 1 was better than night 2 in terms of quality, but on the whole, my overall consensus of this year's WrestleMania, adding both nights. You know, I think a lot of people were expecting this to be an absolute fucking dumpster fire. Or myself included. I even did a trademark extra on it, saying I thought this was going to be the worst WrestleMania ever. And, you know what? It really wasn't. It really wasn't. Now, was it a memorable WrestleMania? Sure. But it's not going to be because of any one match, or it's not going to be any one moment. This is the moments that we saw on both night 1 and night 2. In my honest opinion, are going to be overshadowed anyway. Because while everybody's probably going to remember the Boneyard match or the Firefly Funhouse match, Drew McIntyre winning the WWE title, Mandy kissing Otis for the first time, this will mainly be remembered as a WrestleMania that was dealt a bad hand due to this pandemic, due to the COVID-19 coronavirus. That's all it's going to be. And this is also going to be remembered as probably the Mania that wasn't. The WrestleMania that should have been at Raymond James Stadium, but ultimately didn't happen. And that sucks. That absolutely fucking blows. Because somebody else mentioned this, I'm going to mention it again, and I'm going to reiterate. This could very well have been probably one of the better WrestleManias that we've seen in a while. Now, granted, probably could have been the longest WrestleMania in history. But this probably could have been one of the, not the best, but could have been a real good show. If not for what went down. So, yeah, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. I said that last night, and I'm going to say it again. WWE was just dealt with a bad hand. And not just WWE, but everybody was dealt with a bad hand this year. And it sucks. It really does suck. You can follow me on Twitter at @the_TM_show. That will get changed in due time back to trademark_show. Thank God, because I'm actually, that handle is a fucking mouthful. Instagram, trademark_show, all lowercase. You can follow me there. And also, sub to the YouTube channel. I'm going to try and combine both night 1 and this review. And I'm going to try and put it in one video for you guys. So, it's probably going to be a long video. That will probably be a long video, but you're getting both the night 1 and night 2 reviews. So, yeah, like I said, it is what it is. But WrestleMania is over. And WWE, this could very well have been WWE's last pay-per-view for a while, because, and I even forgot to mention this too. Now, I know this was taped. I know it was taped. But anybody else find it fucking hilarious that they advertise Money in the Bank for next month, when we don't even know the certainty of whether or not there's going to be any shows taped, because Florida already has a stay-at-home order in effect for 30 days? I don't know. But, till next week, with episode 37 of the Trademark Show, it's going to be a very interesting week, man, to say the very least. And I'll catch you all next week for episode 37. Till then, take care of yourselves, wash your hands, and look out for your family, stay indoors, And take care, everybody.